So welcome to Rauta Reviews. Today's band is a newcomer to the Finnish black metal audience, but it's one of those names which is more or less underground names for reasons there lies within the music and whatnot. This one's called Blood Red Fog and the album is called Thanatotic Supremacy, which is here as a CD. I quite unboxed it for reasons what happened inside the house recently. So anyhow, here's the cover picture with a Grim Reaper on the front. There is the CD booklet with tracklist. Inside we have lyrics, and as opposed to most of the black metal release out there, this is not black and white, but more of these kind of a brown colors and well, say interesting design with pictures and all. So not very typical release in that sense. And this three-man band well has some lineup changes, and here I will just do the courtesy of censorship myself. I'm not showing you this guy's penis, it's laying underneath my finger. Here's the lineup, that is the band lineup, and here's yet again the CD layout picture with track list. So there we go, and let's talk a little bit about the music on the album. So Blood Red Fog is one of those bands which kind of do raw black metal, but that is to say, not it means like a primitive black metal as opposed to bands like Ilion, for example. More or less, this band is kind of a melodic and even melancholic at some points, where even though it's very raw when it comes to the production and the way the band is playing. And that is one of the reasons I think this is one of those albums or bands already which is kind of hard to, get to used to, because the music is kind of like an opposite of more like mainstream, clean and nicely sounding black metal. This is more of this raw kind of a energy from nature itself. It's not polished in any ways. It kind of sounds ugly and kind of a mushy, especially those faster parts which tend to get a little bit chaotic, which I think is one of the weaknesses on this album. But this raw energy kind of taps into the feral instincts we all have. So meanwhile it's kind of raw and really powerful. At the same time it also lets this melancholic feeling to come through this music. And I think it's the balancing thing with this melodic output and with the more fast tempo parts is something that makes this album also interesting. However, like I said, this production being very raw, I think it's also creating this kind of a annoying feeling, because all these faster parts just tend to become, like I said, way too chaotic for its own good. Now, the slower parts, which are the majority on this album, are in fact, at least some points, are quite enjoyable. And meanwhile, this production is something that we could debate for hours, I guess. I think it's something that one gets used to. It's not easy to get in, basically, because, these riffs just kind of need something to, get used to the kind of production. Not only that, but also these kind of a rawish, animal-like screams coming from the background. And also this kind of a melancholic vibe there is. I don't know if I make any sense to you, because this is just one of those albums you just have to hear at least a little bit to figure out what I'm trying to say here. So raw yet kind of atmospheric, and it's a kind of a hard combo to actually understand without listening to it. And while at first I thought this is just yet another raw black metal album with no understanding how it should be composed, after a couple of spins it started to open to me. I still, however, couldn't get over about the fact that this production is kind of blocking the band's vision in my ears and my eyes and mind, that this band could be way more, I don't know, powerful if only the production was a little bit more, well, better. But however, as raw as may be, I think still Blood Red Fog has done quite a nice job with this album, and it's definitely one of the better ones there are from this band. So if you're looking for some uncommon eccentric black metal from Finland that is raw and not just thing everybody's listening to and banging their fists to. This is something you might consider checking out. Blood Red Fog is an interesting band with an interesting approach to Finnish black metal. So if you think it's your cup of tea, go check it out. This is me, Rauta, and see you soon with another review. Bye.